Hi, my name is Alexis, and I'm going to have my mother read an essay.
Okay. The wind was blowing and the sun was shining bright over Lake Milford. Sorry. Ryan was spending his day there fishing. He was 24 years old and unemployed. He needed this trip to focus on his life. He had hit rock bottom. Hey, buddy, Ryan said to a friend that was showing up late to fish. Sorry I'm late, man. You're fishing under the bridge, but I want to fish by the cove, he said his friend, sorry. All right, man. See you in a bit, said his friend. Ryan was okay with that. With times being so stressful, he used his power of imagination to make himself happy, so he could enjoy himself. He sat onto a boulder border and casted his line out and began to smile. He began thinking about what it would be like to have a job, a way to make some money, all of the things he spent his money on, and what he was thinking about as well. These things made Ryan so happy because because he hasn't even had a job since he was laid off 2 years ago. Dude, what are you doing? There's something on your line. Wake up over there, yelled Ryan's friend. Ryan woke up from his daydream and saw an alligator coming his direction. He didn't know what to do, and so his friend ran over to save him. He ended up being okay, but his friend asked, "How could you not have seen that alligator coming?" Ryan knew Ryan knew what to say, but he kept quiet. He always knew that his imagination got him into trouble. If it wasn't for him daydreaming, doing work, he'd probably still have a job. Ryan said, "Man, I need some help. I'm not able to concentrate. I need a doctor." His friend understood and took him to the doctor a week later. They found that he had attention problems, so they prescribed him with medicine. Ryan now is able to concentrate on things and doesn't let his imagination get the best of him.
Thank you. Okay, so now I'm just going to go over this with y'all. Um, and first, we're going to learn about the exposition. The exposition is how are the characters in the setting introduced to the reader. This is always going to be at the beginning of each essay. It should be there. I'm just saying it should. If it's not, I don't want a good essay, but it should be there. So, well, in a short story, since this is a short story. Okay, it should be here. So I'm just gonna read the exposition, and like I said, it's basically describing everything that is happening in. Well, not describing everything. It's basically, I'm sorry. It is basically just describing the settings and the characters in this type of story. And so, from the essay that you just heard, um, the exposition is at the very top of the essay, and it says the wind was blowing. The wind was blowing and the sun was shining bright over the lake. Ryan was spending his day there fishing. And it describes the character Ryan. He's 24 years old. He's unemployed, and it talks about he needs this trip to focus on his life. And like I said, it should be at the beginning of every essay. The complication. The complication. That's a really good point. Its complication is basically the rise in action. It's it's the problems that your main character faces in this in your essay. It's the main problems. It should be somewhat towards the middle or somewhere in there. Should be somewhere towards the middle. And and this essay, one of the In this essay, actually, it has three complications. I'm just gonna read all three of them. And like right after the exposition, it says he had hit rock bottom. That's a complication. And another complication is towards the middle of the essay. It said he is beginning to think he's beginning to think about what it would be like to have a job in a way he can make some money, all the things he could spend his money on. That's what he was thinking about as well. This made Ryan so happy because he hasn't even had a job since he was laid off 2 years ago. And that's a complication as well. And if there's a complication towards the bottom of the paragraph, towards the bottom, or towards the ending, however you want to call it, that's probably just a reminder of the complication. It's probably just a reminder, so you may want to take that into note. Towards the bottom, if they have another complication in there and it's the exact same thing, it's usually just a reminder. In this essay, it does. It has a reminder. Not in every essay, it may not, but in this essay, it does. And it says, if it wasn't for him daydreaming during work, he probably would still have his job. That's basically just a reminder to the fact that he lost his job. What else is there? There's the climax. The climax is the greatest point in the story that interests the reader. It's like the high point to the like for in this essay. The high point in here was when it says that he saw the alligator come in his direction, and you think, and it's like this makes you start thinking like, what's going to happen next? Is the alligator going to eat him? Is he going to just eat a leg off? He's going to eat anything off? What's going to happen? Is somebody going to save him? He's just going to die? That is the climax. That's what gets you to start thinking. That's the climax. The next part is the falling action. Falling action is basically just the cooling down part of the essay. And the falling action, it should really be like right after. You can't miss it. It should really be like right after the climax. And in this essay, you actually have two falling actions. I'll read them to you. How could you not see that gator coming? Ryan knew the answer, but he kept quiet. He always knew. Ryan knew the answer. It says, how could you see the alligator coming? Ryan knew the answer, but he kept quiet. He always knew that his imagination would get him in trouble. Ryan said, man, I need some help. I'm not able to concentrate. I need a doctor. His friends understood and took him to a doctor a week later. And that's just the cooling point of this essay. It's just a cooling point where stuff starts calming down and you start to be like, okay, my answers are becoming clear. I understand it. So this is just, okay. And the resolution. That's always gonna be at the end of the story. The resolutions. It's kind of like the conclusion, but not necessarily. The resolution is how does the main conflict in the story get resolved? Like, you know how you have a problem and you're going to have a solution. It's like, here's your problem and this is your solution. So in this essay, it says they found out that he had an attention problem, so they provided him with some medication. Ryan now is able to concentrate on things and does not let his imagination get the best of him. That's like I said, we take that into note. That's all. It was always going to be at the bottom of the paragraph. Another one we can go over is theme. And me personally, I thought that the theme was it's good to imagine stuff, it's good to daydream, but sometimes it can get you into a situation that you necessarily don't want to be in. Like, it can get you into trouble. Like, you can daydream, you can imagine, but every now and then you're going to have to snap back. Because it can get you into some situations that's not necessarily good for you. And the conflict is what is the main conflict. is like man versus man, man versus self, man versus nature. Some people, now I know some people may think that since because of the alligator, they would think that it's man versus nature, and I'm not gonna lie, I did think that that was it the first time I read this. I thought it was man versus nature, but I re- but me, I thought it was just man versus self. Now I'm not sure. I think it could be. It can go either both ways. It can either be man versus man, or man versus self, or man versus nature. So yeah. Um. Thank you. Okay. Um. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed this essay. I know I kind of stumbled on some words, but just bear with me here. Um. Yeah. So. Bye.